What is up, friends and fellow collectors out there? So I thought I was done shooting videos for 2021, but Sideshow dropped the other day some images of a brand new Darth Vader Mythos statue, and I felt like I need to weigh in on this, let you guys know why I won't be supporting this, but also to hear your thoughts or to read your thoughts in the comments below. So I welcome you guys to share your opinions down below in the comments and let me know what you guys think about this new statue. Now, if you just clicked on this video to give me a thumbs down, first, I want to say thank you for being a loyal hater. But if you watch this video all the way through, you'll see that I'm not just simply hating on this statue. I am going to be giving you guys my thoughts on what I do really like about the statue, because I do think it is a very cool looking Darth Vader Mythos statue. Also giving you things that I'm not really a fan of, and also providing you guys my thoughts on what I wish this Darth Vader Mythos statue could have been. So it's going to be a lot more than just hating on this pieces, because I feel like, the artists that put the work into this, they did a great job on the sculpt. So it does deserve a little bit of praise. So without further ado, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications and all that good stuff. We do talk about statues and all kinds of other collectibles on this channel on a regular basis. So if you like to hear about things like that, I welcome you to join the channel and watch future videos as we bring them out. So without any more talk about this, let's get into the statue and talk about it. So let's bring it up on the screen and we'll take a look at this thing. Here it is, the Darth Vader Mythos. Never thought I would be seeing another one. Actually, I'm not really all that surprised, but it's there. So let's kick it off with the things I like. This is a really great looking Darth Vader statue at first glance. I really do like the way this thing looks. I like that the Vader is in battle damage, that he looks like he's in the midst of a war with the rebellion, so that's really cool. You can see parts of Anakin's charred flesh, peering through the suit that's ripped and everything, which is awesome. I think that was a great design choice. You can see a cybernetic leg peering through the lower part of the right leg there that's, up on top of the X-Wing engine, which I think that is really cool. I like that we get to see an X-Wing engine. That's really awesome. He really does look menacing, and I like the overall idea of what they were coming up with here. I also really like the way the cape is bellowing the way it is. That gives it a lot of dynamic feel to it, and just gives you that whole thing like he's in the middle of a fight. So that's great. They did. It is really cool. There's no doubt about that. I think it is a very cool looking piece. What I'm not a fan of is that the cape, while it looks great because it is bellowing and all that, it is bellowing a whole lot to the right. And that's great. I mean, it looks cool. But what represents a problem here is that it's bellowing so much over to the right that it almost seems like it's equally in width as it is in height. It's going to make it very difficult to display the statue. For somebody that puts them on a shelf, there's no doubt that if I put it on my shelf, this would have to be the far left statue in my collection, which I had to do the same thing with the original Darth Vader Mythos statue, which kind of would look weak to me if I was to display it. Because the way I have my statues displayed is I have the original Mythos statue on the very top shelf, and then I have the lower Mythos statue, the newer Mythos statue collection, collecting down at the bottom. So having another Vader beneath the original Vader, I think it just wouldn't look cool to me. So that would represent some difficulty in displaying this piece. It would either have to be, like I said, on the far left, or probably in the back. If you have some space like that, a very deep shelf, having it in the back and then raised up would look kind of cool too. But for the better part of us, most of us have like 15-inch deep shelves or 16-inch deep shelves. You just can't do that. So again, this would probably be on the far left. So while the pose that Vader has is cool, it's also kind of boring to me. We've seen Vader in this kind of pose before, lightsaber drawn out to the left or to the right, and then one of the hands in this clenching pose. And it seems like something that Sideshow pretty much sticks to. Looks like Vader's ready for a proctology exam. I don't understand why we can't have Vader in a different type of looking pose. I know that this is kind of the iconic thing for him. He's always doing like a force choke or a force grip or the fist up, but with so many Vader statues being released all the time from Sideshow, I mean, since I've been doing this, I've seen four Mythos statues, I think. Sorry, no, four premium format statues, one Mythos statue, and then you have the 6-scale figure that they release as well. So it's always seems to be that Vader is looking something like this, with the exception of maybe like a few. So it would be cool to see something else. And to me, it's like a safe looking pose for Sideshow, which Generally, I think that's what the S in Sideshow stands for, safe. Lastly, it looks very similar to me, the way that he's standing, like I said, and then also the setting of Mustafar to the original Mythos statue from Vader. And this is probably the aspect of the statue that I dislike the most, is that they're doing another return to Mustafar. And we saw that in the first Mythos statue. That's what made it really unique. Dark contemplation. He's sitting there, thinking about his decisions in life that led him to where he was at. And then, the last premium format statue that was released was also on Mustafar, which you could still get now at Sideshow. And now we're back again at Mustafar, which is, it's kind of boring at this time. I mean, it's like, Vader traveled to a lot of different planets to fight different Jedi, different settings. And I think that, it's time that we have something new, to look at, especially for somebody who has been collecting these things for quite a while. Having a new setting for Darth Vader would prompt me to buy a new Darth Vader statue. So that's my thought there. Overall, I really do like this statue, and I see a lot of praise in the community for it. So yeah, I'm definitely in the minority when it comes to those who not that much a fan of it. But mostly people that I see praising it are people that don't already own the Mythos statue of Vader and, don't want to pay that very high price that is going for the second market on the original Darth Vader Mythos. But, the reason why the original Darth Vader Mythos statue is so expensive, it's because the original collectors of the Mythos collection, like me, are really, truly fans of this collection. You hardly see these pieces come up for sale. And because they hardly come up for sale, they are very expensive when they do come up for sale. And because they hardly come up, that's the thing that makes it that way. We cherish these statues. We keep these statues on our shelves. And while, some of us have a large amount of disposable income and a large amount of available space, there is a lot of us that do not. And there's truly, there has to be, there has to be a limit, I think, to the amount of times we're going to see a re-release of a character. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see the reason to, for me anyway, as somebody that already owns the original one, to shell out what will be probably $600 for this statue for something that kind of looks like a carbon copy of the original. It's not completely, but I mean, it has kind of a similar look, like I said, and will undoubtedly have an extremely high edition size. I don't see the value there. So that's my main thing when it comes to this Vader piece, in my opinion. Now, what I would have absolutely preferred from this Darth Vader statue altogether is a different character. I really would have preferred to see somebody completely different that we haven't seen in a Mythos line or in a premium format. But since we can't have that, since it's probably going to be a Darth Vader statue or a Boba Fett, so I can probably see another Boba Fett coming out here real soon. These seems to be the trusted four for Star Wars, right? Like, there's always going to be a Batman statue. There's always going to be a Wolverine statue. You're always going to see a Darth Vader. You're always going to see a Boba Fett or a Darth Maul or an Obi-Wan Kenobi. But, so since we have to stick with the Vader, so Sideshow needs to fulfill that need to have a single Darth Vader statue for the year. Let's see what we can get different from Darth Vader, right? Let's get something different. So here's my thought. There's a canon story for Darth Vader called The Dark Lord of the Sith. It was written by Charles Soule underneath the Marvel umbrella and is one of the greatest Darth Vader stories, in my opinion. It's really absolutely great. The story shows Vader in his first year of donning the cybernetic suit. It goes on to show how he had to bleed a kyber crystal red in order to make the iconic lightsaber that he holds in the movies. But to do this, he had to first defeat a Jedi to take his lightsaber from him. That was the main thing he had to do. So he had to fight this really skilled fighter of the Jedi Order. This is what this guy was bred for. This is what this guy did at the Jedi Order. He was his one purpose, and his name was Master Infla. Now, this guy was on a pilgrimage during the Jedi Purge, so that's why he wasn't there. And he was residing on a planet called, or it's like a moon called Aldolim, I think is how it's pronounced, or Aldolim. Now, this is a river moon, so it has like mountains and greenery and water, so it's got a lot of chance for color and beautiful look and something different from what we to see in a Darth Vader statue. So you see where I'm going there. In this story, Vader had an extremely difficult fight with this guy. This guy kicked his ever-living butt. I mean, it's just this Jedi was really badass. You know, he tore his leg off, so you know he was missing a leg. Vader was fighting with an electronic staff, which gave it this like purple hue to the weapon that he was using. He was thrown from a mountain. I mean, it was a really difficult fight for Vader. Vader had to take and recreate a cybernetic leg for him to continue the fight with this guy. So that's how the means the length of the will that he had to muster up to beat this guy, right? So the Jedi really gave him the fight for his life. But at the end of it, Vader was able to beat him and take the lightsaber, and all against the backdrop of a destroyed dam. So meanwhile, this dam is being exploded, water is flying everywhere. So, picture this, right? You got Vader with a truly exposed cybernetic leg. You got him exposed. You got it showing. It's not just peering, it's showing. You can see the whole thing, right? He's got one leg up, just like this one. You can have the one leg up or the one leg down. On one hand, he's going to have that electronic staff or weapon, electronic blade in one hand, wielded down so that way that light is kind of reflecting off one side of him. In the other hand, he has the lightsaber of the defeated Jedi. That's what I'm seeing here. And then water splashing behind him. So you have lots of chance of color, of something that will make Vader pop forward, will give you something completely different, from any other Darth Vader statue that we've seen. And then for people that are new to the Mythos line, this is a truly Mythos statue, and it will be, in my opinion anyway, something that both new fans and old fans can appreciate, and of the Mythos collection, and would bring the old Mythos collectors to want to buy the statue, and then also the new collectors. So you have you're appealing to both sides there, in my opinion. And not only that, but it's like one of the things about Dark Contemplation that I think is awesome is that when people come over and they see it, they've never seen a Darth Vader statue like that before. So it's like it brings the question as to what's going on here when you look at this statue. And then you can explain this kind of stuff to your friends, and everything. And that's what makes the collecting hobby, I think, cool, is when, somebody sees and takes an interest not only in what the art is, but also what the story behind this art is, and I think that's what I like most about it. And I think this, idea would make a much better statue, in my opinion, anyway. So that's really what I would really like to see from a Darth Vader statue. I would really like to see something completely different, for a Mythos statue, other than just the same old same. So that's my thoughts on it anyway, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. You can see that I'm not really hating on this piece. I think that I'm a little disappointed as a seasoned collector, as I've been told this year, which I kind of like. I kind of like being called the seasoned collector. It's kind of funny in my opinion. Obviously it means that I've been collecting. I've been in this hobby a long time, so I'm aware of a lot of things. But I like to think that it also means that I got a little spice in my thoughts on these pieces and everything. It's not just all sweets and beautiful pieces and all that stuff like that. I'm going to tell you how it is. I'm not being bought by any company. No company's telling me to say this or anything like that. I'm just giving you guys real opinions from a real collector who's been doing this stuff for a long time. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Happy New Year to all you guys. I hope you guys have a safe and happy New Year. And until next year, keep it marvelous.